When we started in 2013, I wanted to use it as a tool for kids, as a personal training tool as far as baseball goes. You see a lot of kids at the youth level, they're looking for mechanical fixes, fundamental practices that will help them with their game. So we started just doing lessons and hosting camps, but we saw an even greater need along the travel baseball realm of things. And we started with one team, and that was in 2014. We expanded to 2 teams in the fall of 2014. Now in 2015, we have 4 teams this spring, and we're looking toward this fall having even 2 more. I think what we've seen, the difference here has become more of a culture. You see more of a family atmosphere. You see a tight-knit group. You see coaches that care about these kids, the best thing for them. And really, at the end of the day, when parents walk away from what we do for these kids, I want them to say that this is the best decision they've ever made for their kid. What keeps our clients coming back year after year, season after season, lesson after lesson, I think is much greater than the results that you see. Any organization, any baseball team out there can say, where the kids progress from season to season, well, yeah, they're going to mature, they're going to get bigger, they're going to get stronger. Well, what happens with the relationship that you build? What type of trust are you building with that family? Are you building with that child? Are you building with the athlete? Does he want to listen year after year? That's what's important. When he hears Coach Raphael's name, is he grinning ear to ear? Does he appreciate what's being done for him? Does he understand? Approaching the game at different levels is very important, and knowing that we can communicate to our 6-year-olds just as well as we can communicate with our 17, 18-year-olds, I think that's very important. The element of unmatched performance that I would say makes me the most proud tails back into my career, my baseball career. I know what going out after school, after homework, after dinner, and taking extra swings off the tee, or going out on a weekend when I want to be playing with my friends and doing extra hills and running extra sprints. I know the value in it. When you deal with kids at the youth level, they don't see that. They don't know what's to come. But when you can expect that from them, and then they begin to expect that from themselves, and they don't know the benefit that they're going to get until they get into that game in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the game is on the line, and the pressure's on, and they can deliver. That's when they understand, aha, this works. I think one big thing that you see that's very different than Unmatched Performance is doing is that we don't have any parents that coach our teams. It's really a different dynamic that you see, the expectation from a parent to a kid versus the expectation of a coach to an athlete. And I think that's huge. It encourages them to be more self-sufficient, more accountable, more self-starting, and they'll become more motivated, and they start feeling more confident in themselves because they feel like they're doing these things on their own without the aid and the help of somebody else. I think the element of unmatched performance that makes me the most proud is seeing the hard work that the kids take from the coaches that we try to instill in them, and they actually put it to use. When they're going to speed and strength school with us, when they're going to their one-on-one lessons, and they're going to cage rentals, and we see them extra days in the facility, and we get text messages from the parents, and we see posts on Facebook that the kids are hitting off the tee at home, whether they're playing long toss at home, and they're starting to see the results, and they want to do more, and they want to work harder, and we can see the long-term success from it that they necessarily can't, but eventually they will reap the reward of it, and that's the most pleasurable thing to see out of the clients that we have, out of the athletes that we have at Unmatched Performance. What makes Unmatched Performance very unique is the vision that I bring to the table as the owner-operator. I'm trying to put in place exactly what I wish I had for myself. I've had the blessing to play baseball at a very high level. I've played high school baseball at a high level. I played Division I baseball at Radford University, the top 25. I also played professionally as well. And I know the hard work that it takes to get something accomplished like that, and the coaching that needs to be in place to aid and assist an athlete to get to where he wants to be. And for me, myself, I did not have very many coaches that weren't necessarily great players, and you have players that don't necessarily make great coaches. I've been fortunate enough to be able to do both. I can translate the game at a high level. I can translate the game to a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, and help them to expect more from themselves, teach them the hard work and effort that it takes to become good or become great. But when I thought about Unmatched Performance and we started putting our travel teams together, ultimately I started thinking about, well, what is the mascot going to be? What are we going to look like? What are we going to do? What I want people to think of when they think of Unmatched Performance and the teams that we're putting out. So I developed the name machine. I was talking to one of my best friends, and I know, we've always put a lot of hard work into what we do. I mean, that was the one guy, if I had anybody to practice with, it was maybe my best friend. And we're going out, and we're going to the batting cages, and we're running hills, we're running sprints, and we're doing these things. And we almost did it to a point that we wanted to become automatic. When you think about a machine, how does a machine work? It does exactly what you want to do every single time, the same way. And really, that's baseball. Baseball is extremely routine. It's not a game that's changed very much. You're not going to see a behind the back windmill one day and then a 360 dunk one. You don't see many new things. So I almost want to condition our players and our kids to do the same thing until it becomes robotic. They know what to expect from themselves. It's automatic. And when you think machine also, if one piece does not work in that machine, then the machine does not work. We are as strong as the weakest person on our team, and we want to make sure that everyone holds their load. That's why we're called the machine.